Good afternoon. I am David Everest. Welcome to FST News, bringing you our weekly eye on the news. First, the headlines. Chief Dumolulu Briggs purchased APC governorship and expression of interest form. Buhari receives APC nomination form from group. Governor Wike alleges plot to disrupt 2019 elections in Rivers State. Peace Mass Transit finally responds to families of fatal accident victims. Ethiopia-Eritrea border reopens after 20 years. Serena Williams fined $17,000 for 3 code violations in US Open final. Genevieve Nnaji openly declares she is a proud feminist who embraces her femininity. Now the news in details. Prominent member of Rivers State All Progressive Congress (APC) and leading contender for the party's gubernatorial ticket in the state, Chief Dumolulu Briggs, purchased the APC governorship form at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja, Monday, September 10, 2018, in accordance with the directive of the National Executive Committee of the APC to all intending aspirants in the gubernatorial race. The decision of Chief Dumolulu Briggs to purchase the APC governorship and expression of interest form has not only laid to rest the widespread of speculations about his position and status on the Rivers State governorship race, following the Thursday, August 30th pronouncement of the Transportation Minister and leader of Rivers APC, Right Honorable Rotimi Amaechi, of his preference of another lesser-known aspirant and top businessman, Mr. Tonye Deleku, but is indeed a clear sign of the committed intention of the man popularly known as DLB across Rivers State to contest the APC governorship primaries in the state. Rivers political watchers will recall that following the pronouncement of the Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Rotimi Amaechi, of his preferred candidate, which was greeted with widespread surprise, shock and disbelief in the state and especially among many APC faithful, Chief Dumolulu Briggs, who many had tipped as the frontline governorship aspirant of the APC in Rivers State, had issued a powerful, thought-provoking statement informing the party that he would consult widely to determine his next line of action in the wake of the minister's pronouncement. President Muhammadu Buhari, on Tuesday 11 September, received the All Progressive Congress Presidential Expression of Interest and Nomination Forms purchased for him by a support group known as the Nigeria Consolidation Ambassadors Network. President Buhari will express pleasure for being honored by the group, made up of youths from different parts of the country, said the vision to rescue the country started in 2002, adding that the country reached a hopeless state in 2006, hence he decided to contest for the presidential position in 2007. He said he was moved by the state of hopelessness in the country, where selfish interest of elected leaders superseded national interest, stressing that the 2007 election in the country was a disgrace. The president also reiterated that Nigeria is blessed with many talented and visionary youths who have a lot to contribute, many of which may not be able to afford the nomination fees. The president therefore requested that any remaining funds raised to buy his presidential nomination form be used to support these young, competent and dynamic future leaders. The president also stated that those who defected from the All Progressive Congress (APC) to other political parties were the selfish and weakest members who could not align with the vision of his administration. Buhari listed his achievements in office to include completed rail projects and new ones under construction, government support for farmers, including the rehabilitation of fertilizer plants, introduction of Treasury Single Account (TSA), which he said has reduced stealing in the public service as well as provision of jobs and cash for the most vulnerable Nigerians. Deputy Chairman of NCAN, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, while presenting the forms, said the group was made up of 3 million Nigerians, some of who contributed as little as 68 naira to purchase the form after a AAA assessment of the performance of President Buhari. He stated that the group was convinced to purchase the form because of the president's commitments to fight against corruption, against terrorism, and the rejuvenation of the economy. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has alleged that there is a sinister plot by the All Progressive Congress (APC) to deliberately disrupt the 2019 general elections in the state with the aid of security operatives. In a recent interview published on Monday, September 10, 2018, the governor said the current government has hatched a plot to postpone the election by using security agencies to cause crisis. He said, as far as 2019 is concerned, there will be no election. The security agencies will help them to shoot guns and cause crisis in the entire state, and then they will postpone the elections. When they postpone the elections, then on a subsequent date, they will now bring out all the agencies for elections. We have people inside the system who are also working with them, who also let us know their plans. And it has been happening. The recent by-election in Port Harcourt showed it, the governor stated. Almost a month after family members of the victims of an accident took to social media demanding details of what happened to their loved ones, the transportation company involved has finally responded. The accident involved a 16-passenger minibus owned by Peace Mass Transit and another vehicle. It happened in Itobe, Kogi State, along the Abuja-Lokoja Road. The accident, which occurred on August 14th, killed 14 out of the 16 passengers in the bus, with 2 others incurring serious injuries. Family members of the victims took to social media accusing PMT of burying the deceased in the bush without their consent in order to cover up its negligence. In a statement released by Peace Mass Transport on Tuesday, 11 September, the accident occurred after a Peugeot 406 saloon car, which was carrying a gas cylinder, ran into its minibus head-on while trying to overtake another vehicle. It explained that the impact of the collision caused the gas cylinder to explode, burning most of the occupants of the 2 vehicles alive. The company, however, said that contrary to claims by families of the deceased, the decision to bury the dead passengers was taken by first responders at the scene of the accident. The statement signed by the company's management read, "Our sincere condolences go to the family of all the deceased passengers who had kept the faith with their preferred road transport service provider, PMT, but fell to the cold hands of death in those circumstances we view as most unfortunate. It was also regrettable that National Emergency First Responders at the scene of the accident and natives of the area, apparently acting in good conscience, made the decision to honorably clear the thoroughfare and inter the remains of deceased victims together nearby." According to reports, the accident victims were given mass burial in a nearby bush by Federal Road Safety Corps members and the villagers in Itobe after the accident occurred. Efforts to speak to the police and the Federal Road Safety Corps were fruitless. Spokesperson of the Kogi Sector Command of the FRSC, Oba Olobayo, when reached for comment, said an SMS should be sent to him. He, however, did not reply to the inquiry when sent. Similarly, spokesperson of the Kogi State Police Command, William Ovie, said he was not aware of the incident. He then promised to find out from the district police officer in Itobe. He, however, did not return subsequent calls made to his mobile phone. And on news around the world, Ethiopians and Eritreans have been celebrating the reopening of 2 key crossing points more than 20 years after a border war shut them. Hundreds of people from the 2 countries hugged each other, and some wept as their leaders led celebrations to mark the reopening. Ethiopia also announced that its troops would start withdrawing from the border area. These are the latest moves in the rapprochement between the ex-enemies. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki signed a peace deal in July, restoring diplomatic and trade relations between the nations. The reopening at Bor gives landlocked Ethiopia access to the sea. Another border post near the Ethiopian town of Zalambesa also reopened. The reopening coincides with the Ethiopian New Year, adding to the festive atmosphere. "This is the happiest day of my life. I never thought this would take place in my lifetime," Eritrean Ruta Hadis was quoted as saying. The war, fought over the exact location of the boundary between Ethiopia and Eritrea, began in May 1998 and left tens of thousands of people dead. It ended in 2000 with the signing of the Algiers Agreement. But peace was never fully restored as Ethiopia refused to implement a ruling by a border commission established by the agreement. Now for sports updates. Serena Williams, who was looking to win her 24th Grand Slam singles title, which would have tied her with Austria's Margaret Court for the all-time record, lost on Saturday 8 September after receiving multiple penalties from chair umpire Carlos Ramos, including a point penalty for breaking her racket and then a game penalty for arguing with Ramos and calling him a thief. The game penalty came as a culmination of an ongoing argument between Williams and Ramos. Earlier in the match, Ramos handed down a warning for coaching following hand gestures from Williams' coach, Patrick Muratoglu. Williams responded by telling Ramos, "If he gives me a thumbs up, he's telling me to come on. We don't have any code, and I know you don't know that, and I understand why you may have thought that was coaching. But I'm telling you it's not. I don't cheat to win. I'd rather lose." The game penalty happened after Williams again demanded an apology from Ramos and then called him a thief, saying that he stole a point from her with the previous penalty. Ramos said that the game penalty came as a result of verbal abuse from Williams. Williams received a total of $17,000 in fines for 3 code violations during the match. The US Open Referee's Office is deducting $10,000 from her $1.85 million runner-up prize for her alleged verbal abuse to Ramos. $4,000 were deducted from the coaching warning and $3,000 for breaking her racket. During a press conference, Williams criticized the calls from Ramos as sexist. "I've seen other men call other umpires several things, and I'm here fighting for women's rights and for women's equality, and for me to say thief and for him to take a game, it made me feel like it was a sexist remark," Williams said. "He's never took a game from a man because they say thief. For me, it blows my mind. But I'm going to continue to fight for women," she declared. Serena's opponent in the game, Naomi Osaka, claimed her first Grand Slam title after defeating Serena Williams 6-2, 6-4 in the final of the US Open. With the victory, Osaka became the first Japanese woman to win a Grand Slam singles title. On the entertainment scene, award-winning actress Genevieve Nnaji has declared she is a proud feminist. The actress made this known in an interview with Women and Hollywood magazine, a media organization that educates, advocates, and agitates for gender diversity in Hollywood and the global film industry. She said, "I'm a proud feminist who embraces her femininity. I feel sometimes women are made to feel self-conscious and ashamed of their womanhood. Perhaps, like Wonder Woman, we may wake up one day to discover that it is our superpower, and then we will be unstoppable." Speaking on the #MeToo and #TimesUp movements, she said, "How quickly the oppressed have risen to the top, and yet the train has not stopped. If anything, they continue to create amazing content. History has shown that in almost every situation where a group of people or a demographic is being oppressed, it's usually because the oppressors are threatened by the potential of the oppressed to be great. I am happy women all over the world are discovering their superpower and turning why me into not me," she stated. That will be all from our news desk. Thanks for staying with us. Remember to kindly follow our social media handles for more news updates. Have a pleasant new week. I remain David Everest.